Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.01%, Dow futures up 0.14%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.08%. Markets are overall trading higher now, although they were trading lower earlier, as investors weigh inflation risks and the impact of a minimum corporate tax on technology firms. The 10-year rate added 2 basis points after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen shared that a slightly higher interest rate environment would be a plus. Crude oil is trading lower after having risen to $70 a barrel as short-term demand worries continue. Tesla has dropped in pre-market trading today after canceling plans for a longer-range sedan. Recent data, including the May non-farm payrolls that came out Friday, seem to substantiate the central bank's dovish stance, and now investors are trying to strike a balance between preparing for higher rates and riding a risk-on rally supported by Fed stimulus and President Biden's $4 trillion spending plan. This Thursday's U.S. Consumer Price Index could offer traders more clues as to how the economy is moving. Meanwhile, in regards to the global economy, the group of 7 rich nations have secured a landmark deal that could help countries to collect more taxes from big firms and enable governments to impose levies on U.S. giants such as Amazon and Facebook. We're seeing NASDAQ take a dip this morning because investors are concerned that pure growth narrative may no longer be enough to support stocks. Apple, Twitter, and Microsoft have all declined at least 0.5% each in pre-market this morning. Over in Europe, the tech shares have also underperformed, with a benchmark gauge for the sector falling from its highest levels since April. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps all morning long. They were down, moderately, and they started rallying back. Same with the European indexes. They were down at the open, and they were able to claw their way back, and they're up slightly. The issue here is that you have a lot of feeling there's some positive news on specific companies, but the overall issue today in today's market is that we have no real economic reports coming out that's going to help support this move higher today, and it's going to help support Friday's move higher. So I'm really expecting that the market's going to be giving back some of Friday's gains. You look at the big tech stocks. They're kind of weak. I mean, you do see Apple trading positive, but Amazon and Google and Tesla and Netflix, they're all trading lower. Why? Because, that the G7 announcement where they're saying their potential for a 15% minimum global tax has been agreed to. It's just got to get ratified. But this 15% global minimum tax is a negative for these firms. Inflation, hey, it's still going to be a hot topic this week. You got a key inflation reading coming out on Thursday, and the Fed is in a quiet period right now because they're having an FOMC meeting next week. You got oil, that's a little bit weak. There's a EIA report on coming out today that's going to be a closely watched report on oil stockpiles. Iran will probably get the sanctions lifted this week, which will add additional supply to the crude oil world market. Remember, Iran has their elections next week, so it's likely that they're going to get the sanctions lifted right before it. That's going to help whoever's in power to kind of keep their positions. So I expect the oil to kind of pull back a little bit this week, and I expect the market to pull back a little bit today. You do have some good earnings coming out. We got Cooper Software, we got the Vail Resorts, Marvell Technologies, and Stitch Fix all coming out this afternoon.
Well, moving into our earnings to watch, Bill, tell us what we're seeing there.
Well, G3, that's ticker GIII, Grace India. This is G3 Apparel. They beat by 38 cents this morning. They came in at 53 cents where the consensus estimate was 15 cents, and they did it on higher revenue. You look at the stock, it's unchanged right now, but the bid offer, the ask side is $10 higher than Friday's close. So this could be a positive for G3 Apparel. There's not much more coming out this morning, but later this afternoon, you got a number of companies reporting. Coupa Software, that's ticker COUP, Charlie Oscar under Paul. It's priced for a 10% move when they release this afternoon. Marvel Technologies, that's ticker MRVL, Michael, Richard, Victor, Larry. They're priced for a 7% move when they release this afternoon. Stitch Fix, that's ticker SFIX, Sam Frank, India, X-Ray. They're priced for a 19% move when they release this afternoon. Ticker MTN, Michael, Tom, Nancy, that's Mountain Resorts. They're priced for an 8% move when they release this afternoon. And tomorrow morning, or later this week, we have UNFI, which is United Foods, under Nancy, Frank, India. They're priced for a 20% move. And Campbell Soup, ticker CPD, Charlie, Paul, Boy, they're priced for a 6% move. So it's something to watch there too.
Moving into economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing for reports today.
There's nothing on the agenda that's significant. There is an ECB meeting going on this week, but because the Fed is meeting next week, you have no Fed speak. They're in their quiet period. So I don't expect the Fed will be able to support anything without any economic reports. It's kind of like difficult for the market to be able to, continue a leg higher this morning.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Macquarie Infrastructure, ticker MIC. The company has agreed to sell Atlantic Aviation to KKR, ticker KKR, for $4.475 billion. Macquarie's share price is up 8.57% in pre-market. News on Vulcan Materials, ticker VMC. The company has agreed to buy U.S. Concrete, ticker USCR, for $1.29 billion. The deal represents a 30% premium to Friday's closing price of $57.14 for U.S. Concrete. U.S. Concrete's share price is up 28.28% in pre-market. In other news, Dave, a leading bank app with 10 million customers, announced plans to become a publicly traded company via merger with VPC Impact Acquisition Holdings. That's ticker VPCC. Dave will have an equity value of $4 billion and trade under the ticker symbol DAVE. News on Merck, ticker MRK. The company released a new phase 3 data today showing positive results for patient treatment with Keytruda plus Levima. Merck's share price is up 0.32% in pre-market. In other news, Bionanogenomics, ticker BNGO, is up over 9% in pre-market this morning as it's becoming the top trending ticker symbol on a stock-based social media outlet. The company had another 9% rally on Friday. In other news, Chromadex, ticker CDXC, has jumped 12.8% in pre-market today after announcing that its product, True Neogen, will become available in 3,800 Walmart locations. News on Google, ticker GOOGL. French antitrust regulators, they've imposed a fine of $267.5 million on Google following a probe into the company's practices related to online advertising. Also, as part of the settlement with the regulator, Google has agreed to make changes to its online advertising services. The regulator claimed that Google Ad Manager allegedly favored Google's online ad auction house, AdX, over other auction operators. Under the settlement, Google has agreed to improve the interoperability of Google Ad Manager services with the third-party ad server and ad space sales platform. Google's share price is down 0.11% in pre-market. Last one for me, self-driving firm Aurora is in final talks with the SPAC Reinvent Technology Partners, that's ticker RTPY, for a potential merger that would make Aurora a publicly listed U.S. traded company. The combined company value is estimated to be as high as $20 billion, and a deal could be announced as early as this week. Reinvent's share price is up 2.23% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I've been, I break my news alerts down into specific segments. I'm looking for specific industries, whether it be crude oil or the FANG stocks. I look at specific events, whether it be conference calls or earnings announcements. And I break all this down into, highly targeted news stories. So when there's news out on there, I can quickly decide whether they're actionable news items or not. I'm looking at my FANG alert this morning. There's a lot going on. I mean, to start off, that G7 announcement that happened on Saturday, that they're going to be closing that cross-border tax loophole that is being used by some of these big tech companies. That's a big negative. They're going to make these big tech companies pay a minimum global tax of at least 15%. They're going from 0 to 15%. That's a negative for them. Apple, one of the things I noticed on Apple this morning was one of their suppliers, which is Foxconn. They reported their earnings on Sunday, and they said that their revenue in May soared by 18% year over year. That's a good sign going into Apple's earnings next month. Amazon, GoDaddy launches some new features for their e-commerce, including integration with Amazon and eBay for publishing on Instagram. So that's a positive for both Amazon and GoDaddy. Twitter, in India told Twitter that it has one last chance to comply with their new IT rules or face unintended consequences. So there's a fight brewing there in India over Twitter. My Dow Jones 30 alert was pretty active this morning. I see Merck, ticker MRK, Michael Richard Kilo. They're going to provide an update on its oncology data at a conference, and they're doing that this evening at 6 p.m. Verizon, ticker VZ, Victor Zebra. They're following AT&T's lead, and they're going to be offering free iPhones with long-term commitments. This is their way of paying for the 5G network. United Healthcare, ticker UNH, under Nancy Henry. They're having a shareholders meeting today, and it starts at 11 a.m. I see news on Walmart, ticker WMT, William Michael Tom. According to Morgan Stanley survey, the Walmart Plus memberships are steady near about 10 million subscribers. The actual figure is 9.7 million, so they're rounding it up. By rounding it up, I know they're pretty positive on the stock. I look at Visa. Goldman is going to be implementing Visa's B2B Connect, which is a Visa direct payment solution. Visa's CEO is out there touting how they're going to bring Visa's payments into areas where it's never been used before. That's a big positive there. Microsoft, that's ticker MSFT. The company has won antitrust approval here in the U.S. for its deal to provide artificial intelligence and speech technology company Nuance Communications, according to a filing made by Nuance to the government. This is a $16 billion deal. So expect Microsoft to be selling off a little bit on this news. In terms of the options, you know what? It's all about Biogen right now. That's ticker BIIB. The June weekly call option implied volatility is at 218. For the month of June, it's at 161. You compare that to the 52-week range, which is 28 to 103, and you know that this stock is about to move. Now, the call-put ratio is 1.3 calls to every one put. That's a positive. I look at the stock, and Biogen's trading up $11 today, which is about 4%. But that doesn't mean it's an approval. You got to remember, the drug companies are saying that their drug is 30% effective. The other, media places like Johns Hopkins are saying it's not 30% effective. It's a big decision for the FDA. They could deny it. If they deny it, that stock's going to be dropping to the 150 range. If they approve it, it could see 400. It's a high risk, high reward, depending on the type of position you take with Biogen. But expect a lot of volatility when that FDA announcement comes out today. Other events happening today. Lovesac, that's ticker LOVE, at 10 a.m. this morning. They're having their annual shareholders meeting. Remember, Lovesac's earnings are due out on Wednesday, so something interesting could happen. Something interesting could be announced in their annual shareholders meeting today. Buckle, which is ticker BKE, Boy Kilo Edward. At 11 a.m., they're having their annual shareholders meeting. ServiceNow, that's ticker NOW, Nancy Oscar William. They're having their shareholders meeting at 1 p.m. today. And Array Technologies, that's ticker ARRY, Apple Richard Yellow. They're having their shareholders meeting today also at 1 p.m.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Visa, ticker V. Goldman Sachs is partnering with Visa to augment B2B and B2C payments. It's taking them to places they haven't been before, to different countries, giving them different clients they would have ever had. Piper analysts have it raised from $264 from $255. Another analyst has them from $275 raised up to $284. So they're seeing some positivity there. And this really looks like a good day in the market for them. So that's my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Vail Resorts. That's ticker MTN, Michael, Tom, Nancy. Now, the earnings are out this afternoon. It's priced for an 8% move, which is about $12.75. On June 1, Deutsche Bank called it a catalyst buy call idea. That's a very positive news story. Look through the historical news, and their April revenue was very positive. While foot traffic was down compared to 2019 levels, it's still up from last year, and it's up quarter to quarter. So, and it looks like the people staying at these resorts, that is rising. So there's some very positive numbers that I expect to come out from Mountain Vale Resorts, ticker MTN, when they release earnings this afternoon. So that's my pick for today, MTN, Michael, Tom, Nancy.
Well, let's move into what's hot off the press. So this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and look at our newswire alerts and see, Bill, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Poshmark, that's ticker POSH, Paul Oscar Sam Henry. CFO is going to be stepping down in August. Here's one on Boeing, ticker BA, Boy Apple. U.S. Navy demonstrated air-to-air refueling using an unmanned aircraft to refuel another aircraft.
QTS, ticker QTS, which is a provider for data center solutions. They're going to be acquired by Blackstone Funds in a $10 billion cash deal. And Blackstone is ticker BX.
Just some index ads. ISUN, India Sam under Nancy, and PDS Biotechnology, which is ticker Paul David Sam Boy. They're both joining the Russell Microcap Index. Vera Bradley, that's ticker VRA, Victor Richard Apple. They just announced classic accessories for outdoor living collection. Their earnings are coming out this week, Vera Bradley, VRA.
Dine Brands, ticker DIN, has partnered with Flyby to improve restaurant pickup.
That's a new partnership, is it not?
Yeah, brand new.
Here's a story on NCLH, which is Norwegian Cruise Lines. Nancy, Charlie, Larry, Happy. Additional U.S. voyages resumption plans were announced today.
The NBC Olympics has selected Avid Technologies for the production of the Olympic Games. That's ticker AVID.
Tyler Technologies, that's ticker TYL, Tom, Yellow, Nancy. They released earnings this morning, and they raised their 2021 earnings guidance.
AbbVie, ticker ABBV, says that Health Canada has okayed one of their treatments for psoriatic arthritis.
Amazon, ticker AMZN, you notice that they've already started releasing some of their deals ahead of Prime Day, started bringing them out there. This is an early warning sign, I think, for their earnings coming next quarter. I'm a little nervous on Amazon's future earnings.
Moderna, ticker mRNA, is filing for Health Canada authorization of COVID-19 vaccines in adolescents. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shannon.
Same here, so that'll do it for what's hot at the press. Traders, keep in mind, you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newswire.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Friday. I had Thor Industries, ticker THO, which opened at $118 and closed at $117.58. It really was about a 0.32% loss. It was pretty small, pretty minimal, but the stock had a late drop in the morning before rising back up to the point where it was, so about a point if you got in late. So there was some money to be made, but overall just underperformed. It wasn't what we hoped for. So that's how that one went. How'd yours do, Bill?
I did Lovesac. That's ticker LOVE. My data said that their earnings are coming out Monday. They're not coming out today. They're coming out Wednesday. Stock opened up at $85.91 and closed at $83.16. It's got its shareholders meeting today. It's got its earnings this week. See the stock's up rallying in the pre-market. It's up 1.67% already this morning. But it was a miss on Friday. It was definitely a miss.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.